What is good, everybody? Man, it's your boy Jay in the building. We is back again with another video. Okay, Grambling State's football schedule for the 2022 season just came out, and boom, voila. Well, go this way. Y'all see it? Oh yeah, it's finally here. So let's talk about it for a little bit. Now, if y'all see, we're going to talk about the one game that's going to be the most anticipated all year. But we'll get to the rest of the schedule. So, looks like we got Bethune-Cookman on the 24th, Fairview on the 1st, Alabama A&M in the rest of the conference. So, let's get to the first part of the schedule, which is, I had to figure out these two teams. So, it's Arkansas State and Northwestern State. Now, Arkansas State is going to be there at Arkansas State, and the Northwestern State is going to be at a neutral site. I don't remember exactly where it is, but now I pulled up both of their schedules because I don't know how each of them did last year. So first, we're going to take a look at Arkansas State. Now you see their record. Now they are in the Sun Belt Conference. Now, y'all can see that they went 2-10, and we're gonna check the opponents that they actually played against. So they lost to Memphis by 5. They got beat down by Washington. Tulsa was a good game. Got beat down pretty good by Georgia Southern. Coastal Carolina, they got beat down bad at homecoming against Appalachian State, and you can see. Now they beat ULM, and this is where we are about to have the conversation, all right? So y'all can see that Arkansas State went 2-10. Now, we were speaking about, now I know a lot of y'all, I actually spoke about, Jackson State and ULM last year, and with me personally, it didn't matter to me. Like, I was gonna see a lot in Jackson State on how competitive they were against ULM, regardless of their record, because I think ULM they were on like a 12 or 13 game losing streak, and there were a lot of Jackson State fans that was upset that they lost. And me personally, I saw that, that was a really, really good test, because for them to have it that close against an FBS team, regardless of the record, that was a good game for them, regardless of how bad the offense looked. The defense was very competitive all game. And y'all seen how the rest of the season looked. They ran through the Swac. So that loss told me a lot about Jackson State. And that's exactly how I feel about Grambling State's game versus Arkansas State. With them being in the Sun Belt Conference, regardless of their record, Grambling State finished 4-7 last year. So their team is gonna be completely different. I don't know what Arkansas State did in terms of their recruiting, but I'm sure that they're going to be different. So I'm not going to go by their record. We're just seeing where, in comparison to where they were last year. So how competitive Grambling State may be is going to tell me a lot about their season and where I think it's headed. Now, I'm not going to give any predictions on their schedule, but a few games. But Grambling State versus Arkansas State is going to tell me a lot about where I think Grambling State is going to be. Now, let's look over to Northwestern State. Now, you see they went 3-8. They're in the Southland Conference. So they beat Alcorn last year by 3. Now this team is actually pretty good. I didn't really hear about them until like 3 years ago. Never knew where they were, but yeah, this is a very good team. You can see they lost to Southeastern Louisiana twice. I don't know how they faced them twice, but yeah, this is the team that FAMU played against in the playoffs, and you can see how they were. But yeah, so these first two games outside of the conference is definitely gonna tell me how good Grambling State is gonna be. Now let's look at the rest of Grambling State's schedule. Now, I think they're gonna beat Bethune. I think they're gonna beat Fairview. I think they're gonna beat Alcorn. I think they're gonna beat Pine Bluff, and I think they're gonna beat TSU. I think those games, me personally, I think those are five guaranteed wins. So right off the bat, I had to win those 5 games. Now, FAMU. This game versus FAMU, it's gonna be real. Oh man, it's gonna be real interesting. Now, I'm gonna give my predictions on where everybody is gonna place in the Swac once everybody's schedules come out. Once everybody's schedules come out, I'm definitely gonna give my predictions on where everybody's gonna land in the Swac. But yeah, so Gremlin versus FAMU. Now, right off the bat, the teams that Grambling lost to last year, the games are going to go quite differently. They're going to go very differently. Now, against FAMU, that one's going to be tough. FAMU has been doing some great recruiting. Even with them losing Marquise Bell, they still have Isaiah Land. And you know they're getting a lot more. They've been getting a lot of transfers as well. So their defense is gonna look pretty good as well. Now, Alabama A&M. Now, their team did a complete overhaul. Like, their team is completely different. And that's because they had a lot of seniors on defense. So everybody is seeing how Alabama A&M has been recruiting, and they're saying, like, "Oh my God! Like, Alabama's getting so many players." And in actuality, they had to, because there were a lot of players that were leaving and transferring, especially on the defensive side. Like, their defense is gonna look totally different, and they lost a lot of their offensive weapons. I think they lost Xavier Moore, D. Anderson, and they lost another receiver that transferred to Bowling Green. So, and they lost Gary Qualls. So, the only offensive weapon that they have is Petit, is Ibrahim. That's the only offensive playmaker that they have on the team. So they were definitely in rebuilding mode. So, but I think that's going to be a good one. The Bayou Classic. Lord have mercy. Man, that game right there is going to be interesting, because Southern actually came on kind of late when it came to the strong push in recruiting. Now, Tuesday is the last is National Signing Day, so that's when everybody is going to pull out their final stops in terms of the recruiting. So I'm definitely waiting on that day. But the Bayou Classic, that game is going to be so packed. That game is going to be so packed, man. Like, with both teams having new coaches and both teams having new talent, having brand new talent, especially with Grambling State. Now, by then, we'll probably already have known who's going to be in the Swac championship. It's going to be interesting. Now, FAMU and Gremlin, y'all are not slick. Now, a lot of people ain't really saying, they ain't saying anything about it, but I've seen it. So I'm gonna tell y'all. You know how petty it is for both teams to have Arkansas Pine Bluff at their homecoming? You know what I'm saying? Both FAMU and Gremlin are playing Pine Bluff at their homecoming, which is petty because I think y'all know what type of team that they're gonna have, and y'all taking advantage of it. But I see it. But the game of the year, y'all already know the game of the year, the game that everybody has their eyes on, and I'm pretty sure that everybody is gonna be front row and center, that everybody's gonna be looking at. Come on, man. Grambling versus Jackson State. Like, I don't even think needs to be a discussion about what's finna happen. Like, that's gonna be the most, like, I'm pretty sure, like, I think that's Jackson State's first 3 games. They're playing FAMU first. I think, well, they have FAMU, they have Tennessee State, and then they're gonna have to play Grambling. The first 3 games, I'm sure. But, oh man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Even with Tuesday coming, I think the team that Grambling State currently has, I think those are the guys that gonna be doing or that's gonna be playing the majority part of the season. And I think even if Jackson State is done recruiting, I think they'll be fine as well. But I think Jackson State is gonna have one more big time recruit. But oh man, Grambling and Jackson State, I'm letting y'all know this. I will be at that game. Like, I'm going because it's not guaranteed that we're gonna see both of these teams in a Swac championship. It's not guaranteed. Now, while I'm on the fence of predicting that may happen, like, I still gotta see how the rest of the recruiting goes. But for now, my early prediction, this is the Swac championship game preview. Early. Like that's it for me. And I want to be at that game because I don't know if I'm going to be watching a home game because I think I'm going to be so distracted about the energy. Like, the energy in the entire stadium is going to be absolutely electric. And I think it's going to, like, we're going to see a lot more than 50,000 plus. Like, the amount of sold out games that Jackson State had last year, and it's going to be at Jackson State, I'm pretty sure you're going to get a lot of people trying to sneak in even with a sold out crowd. Like, I'm just trying to be in the middle, fam. Like whoever I predict to win the game, I'm going to have on their paraphernalia. So whoever I predict to win the game, I'm definitely going to be wearing, either Jackson State or Gremlin. But yeah, man, oh man. And I'm going to be honest with you, I honestly did not expect for Jackson State and Gremlin to meet because I kind of wanted them to wait until, like, I was kind of holding out hope that they may meet in the Swac championship game. But after me seeing this schedule, I kind of like that they're playing this early because things can happen in the next inning. Between them playing Jackson State and the Swac championship, the teams could be it could be totally different, barring injury, and some of the players may not even be eligible to play, or they may not know the playbook right away. Like how Malachi Wideman came in late in the season to where, like, he didn't, from what I was told, he didn't play like the first 3 or 4 games just because he didn't know the playbook. So, and then we saw Malachi on the field and we saw how dominant he was in the end of the season. So that could be the same thing with Grambling and the rest of the players that Jackson State has as well. So it's early. But for the most part on this schedule, I see 5 guaranteed wins. I see 5 guaranteed wins off back. So I think Gremlin will have a winning season. I do see 8 wins on the schedule. I'll say that. I have Gremlin winning 7 to 8 games. I'm not going to say who yet, but I do see 8 wins on the schedule. I do see 8. I see 5 guaranteed for sure, but I see Gremlin winning 8 games, and I see them in the Swac championship. Like, that's just me. Now, it depends on what Southern does. Now, Southern has a really good team as well. Now, depending on what their schedule look like, who knows? But yeah, this is pretty much their schedule from last year, but just in reverse outside of the first 3 games. But yeah, I'm excited. No, now the one against Fairview, that I think that's in Dallas, from what I read. But yeah, man, yo, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm glad we're getting a chance to see their schedule. And look, man, this is going to be one exciting season for Grambling State, man. I can't wait to see it. I know everybody in the HBCU world. I know, I've been speaking to some Grambling State fans for the last few days now, and they are excited. Like, Grambling State fans are absolutely excited before the schedule came out. And look, and everybody fired up. I can't wait for spring ball. Hey, I want to get some footage of spring ball. I want to get it. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all got it, y'all send it to me, because I want to keep that. But yeah, man, look, I'm excited. I do see 8 wins on Grambling State, but we're going to talk about them for Jackson State for a while up until the game. Now, I do want to say this, though. Jackson State and Alabama A&M tricked me last year. That was supposed to be the game of the year last year, and then Jackson State went to Alabama A&M and kicked their ass. So I hope this don't let me down, but I know it won't, because it's a whole new scenery, man. Like this is gonna be crazy. I can't wait, man. This is gonna be absolutely